function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B kid, and I'm back again with another video for y'all. How you guys doing? Hope you guys doing very well. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. Merry Christmas to you all. I had a very good Christmas. I was at the home, you know, I was at the crib just chilling, very peaceful with family and good food. It was very low key. I enjoyed it. But yeah, this is a very weird Christmas, like I bet it was for all of y'all. But listen, man, as long as you have your, you know, your health and your life, you have more than enough to be grateful for. So just remember that. But yeah, I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. And even though this is a very, you know, weird and dark Christmas, there was music to get us through. So that's what I'll talk about in these videos. So before we end off the year, I want to hit you guys off with my best albums of 2020. I'm gonna do a video for each genre that I love. I'm gonna do a video for pop, I'm gonna do a video for hip hop, and I'm gonna do a video for R&B. So let's get into it. This is a very weird year for music, but also a very interesting year for music because of the pandemic. There was no touring. We didn't really consume music the way we normally do. But at the end of the day, I still feel like it was a great year for music, so I wanted to highlight that. I thought a lot of great albums dropped this year for all genres. A lot of great projects dropped this year, so I definitely want to talk about that. And music was definitely a big part of getting us through, at least it did for me. I don't know about you. But so I want to talk about that. Let's get into it. I'm excited. I'm doing my top 10 pop albums and my top 20 R&B and my top 20 hip-hop albums of the year with honorable mentions throughout all these videos. Please don't pay attention to the rankings too much. I feel like rankings are very arbitrary, but for me they were fun to kind of put together and to think about. But you know, the rankings are not that deep for me. I feel like different albums give different people different things at different times, so rankings to me are very weird, but I tried to make it as fun as I could while I was working on them. So but I hope you guys enjoy them. And also, if there was an album I don't talk about, I either did not listen to it or I just didn't think it was worthy enough to be in my top 10 or my top 20. So just, you know, like, you know, comment down below what you think about my list. Hope you guys enjoy them. Comment down below what you listen to all year, what were your favorite albums and what were your favorite, you know, songs and artists of the year. Let me know down below. I'm really excited to know that. But yeah, man, if there's, like I said, if there's an album here that you thought was amazing that I did not pick, I probably did not listen to it or I didn't think it was that great. So let me know down below and we can talk about it, okay? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these lists. Let's get into it. Without further ado, here are my best albums of 2020. Y'all ready? Let's go. Alright, y'all, now we're on to R&B. Let's get it. My favorite video to do every year. Now we're doing my top 20 R&B albums of 2020, so let's get it. First up at bat, we're gonna do at number 20, Misunderstood by Queen Naija. So it's been a long time coming for Queen Naija, a long time coming for her, but she finally came out with her debut album this year, Misunderstood, and it's a pretty solid project, so I'm proud of her. Some of my favorite tracks off this album, Too Much to Say. Really great track on how she's feeling and how like she has too much that she could say about people doubting her, but she's here to stay. I like that. I'm Her with Lede was a cool track. Pack a Light. I love the Bag Lady sample. Lie to Me with Lil Durk was cool. Dream with Lucky Day was a cool track. Not my favorite, but it's a cool little track. I love Without You with Russ. One of my favorite tracks off this album. I love Without You. Say What You Mean was a cool track. Butterflies Part 2 and Beautiful at the End. I love those tracks as well. Yeah, really cool album by Queen Naija. Kind of like, you know, all these songs were mid, but like they really sounded good and they felt good. So I'm really proud of Queen Naija for this album. A solid debut effort. I'm looking forward to seeing what else she'll give to us in the future. At number 19, we have Kiki, the deluxe version by Kiana Lede. This album was hella long and it did have some filler in my opinion, but the songs that were good, and the deluxe version really took it home for me. A lot of great tracks off this album. To me, I feel like Kiki really could have a stronger presence in the industry, but I like this album. Musically, I feel like it's a really solid effort. Off the deluxe version, some of my favorite tracks are Ladylike, Must Be Mine, Amazing, and None For You. And then on the standard version, I love Moving, Keep It Moving, Mad At Me, Chocolate with Ari Lennox. I love that song. I think that was my BSM 14, I think. Love that song. 4 for Lucky Days, a cool track. Second Chances with Black was cool. Labels, Crazy. Yeah, a lot of cool tracks on this album. I'm really proud of Kiana Lede, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what else she'll do in the future as well. At number 18, we have MANTIC by Reyez. This album really came and went, and I think a lot of people don't even remember that it dropped. But to me, this is definitely one of the stronger R&B albums by guys this year. A really solid project by MANTIC. I love the way he put this together. Some of my favorite tracks, Last Time, Touchy Feely, that's a gem. I love that track. Too Much with Miguel, I love that song. Outside the Box, How About That? great R&B banger. Plan B with Brandy, such a smooth track. I love that song. And yeah, Slow Down Masego, really cool album all around. Like I said, this album really came and went, but Reyez is a really solid, really hardworking R&B artist that just has a really cool, unique sound and vibe that he really displayed on this album to a really cool effect. So good project. At number 17, we have the Amanda Tape by They, a really cool duo that's up and coming that I really love. I love their vibe, I love their sound. Really cool guys. This album was really short and sweet, like 10 tracks to the point. I loved it, but every track was hitting. Every track was dope. Some of my favorite tracks, The Moment, Play Fight with Tinashe. When we play fight, love that track. Mood Swings, such a banger. On and On, really cool, reflective, you know, deep track. Losing Focus with Wale. Yeah, all around this is a really cool album. I think it's giving like a mixtape vibe with tracks that's talking about a certain ex from the past who's supposed to be named Amanda. Really cool concept. I love how the album sounds. I love how the writing on it. The production's great. They produce all these tracks. So shout out to They. Great album. At number 16, we got The Wild Card by Ledisi. Another really strong effort by Ledisi that I love. This album didn't really make a lot of noise commercially, but it's a great project, so I wanted to mention it. Some of my favorite tracks off this album, Anything For You. I love that song. I hope it wins the Grammy. Let's see, Where I Am. I love that song. It's a fun song. Love the production of that song. Let's see, In It To Win, Cause I'm in it to win. Really cool inspirational track that'll get you hype. Wake Up featuring Ciroc, a really inspirational deep track about the, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement, about the times we're living in, about how we need to wake up and get with it and fight for, you know, our freedom and our rights. Yeah, really solid album all around. A really consistently good album with great production, great vocals, Ledisi's good energy. Strong album by Ledisi. Love it. At number 15, we had The Album by Teyana Taylor. You know, I'm still waiting for Teyana to get it right, because while KTC was too short, this album was way too long and too bloated. But at the end of the day, I really like this album because it showed us that she has potential to really make a great R&B album. All she has to do is just make it shorter and more tight and have more of a focus in its concept. But other than that, I thought this was a really strong album by Teyana, where she really evolves and showing us that she can really up the production value and really give you good song after good song after good song. Some of my favorite tracks on this album, Come Back To Me, Wake Up Love, I love that song. Low Key with Erykah Badu, Let's Build with Quavo, Boomin' with Missy and Future, Wrong Bitch, Bear With Me, Lose Each Other was a cool track, Concrete, Try Again, one of my favorite songs of the year, hands down, Try Again, How You Want It with King Combs, Made It, We Got Love. Yeah, really long album, but it really showed Teyana Taylor really growing into who she is as a woman, as an artist. So I really love this album. Yeah, solid effort by Teyana. At number 14, we have Honey For Wounds by Ego LMA, a really hidden gem of an album for me this year. This album is a really lush, jazzy, woozy album that really showcases Ego LMA's beautiful jazzy voice and really interesting concepts that she really illustrated in a beautiful way on this album, with the songwriting, with the vocal choices, the production, all of that. Some of my favorite tracks off this album, Table For One, How Long Till We're Home. I can really relate to that song as someone who's a, you know, child of an immigrant. Girls Don't Always Sing About Boys, really cool creative track that I love the message about. In the Morning, love that track. And also Science, like some of my favorite tracks off this album. Really solid, a jazzy album by Ego LMA that's, to me, is a timeless album that really will sound good forever. At number 13, we have To Feel Loved by Luke James. To me, one of the standout R&B albums of this year by a guy. Shout out to Luke James. I'm so proud of him for how he evolved on this album. This album was really short and sweet and to the point, but every track was meaningful and every track was beautiful. Some of my favorite tracks off this album, Lambo, All of Your Love is a complete banger that I love so much. I love that song, one of my favorite tracks of the year. Blow was a cool track. Gratitude, I am blessed, 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 amen. Colors, Wanna See Your Colors, and Go Girl with BJ Showkid and Reyez James. Luke James really got into his bag vocally in this album. The production by Danger and other producers was amazing as well. All around a really solid album that just feels so timeless and beautiful, and it was executed so well with a tight track list that really has every song just hitting on all cylinders. Really great project. At number 12, we have Durand by Durand Benarr. When I tell y'all, this is one of the most fun and like freeing albums of the year in R&B. I love this album. Durand Benarr was in his bag with his debut project. I'm so proud of him. He's been coming a long way trying to make his music, and he finally came up with this amazing album this year back in September. Some of my favorite tracks off this album, Mixed in it, Mixed. Like, he told y'all motherfuckers, my shit will be ready when it's ready. Stuck with Ari Lennox. I love that song. Don't you get stuck. Curiosity, Relocate is a funny track. Prepared, I'm prepared for you. Come on. Volume with Kiana and Summons, the last track. This album was fun. Durand Benarr is one of the illest vocalists in the game, and he was singing his ass ass off on this album. This album was fun. It was a great album, vocally, lyrically, production-wise. I'm surprised Durand. This album was just amazing. Go check it if you haven't already. This album is a gem. Go check it out. It's an amazing album. At number 11, we got Alicia by Alicia Keys. I know a lot of y'all want Alicia to go back to, you know, the braids and the piano, but this album to me was a great representation of Alicia Keys kind of going back into her usual bag, but in, like, you know, evolving in a new way. This album to me is a really cool exploration of Alicia Keys' new sound, her new vibe, while still sounding familiar at the same time. Some of my favorite tracks, Time Machine, really vibey track, Authors of Forever, A Wasted Energy with Diamond Platinums, I love that track. Underdog is a classic joint that grew on me over time. Me Times 7, I love that track. Me. Show Me Love Miguel, y'all know I love that song. So Done with Khalid, I love that song. I put it in my BSM 16. Gramercy Park is a great track as well. Jill Scott, I love that track. Really fun and cool album all around by Alicia Keys. Really cool album that a lot of y'all probably forgot about, but really solid project by her. At number 10, we have It Was Good Until It Wasn't by Kehlani, which is to me one of the most introspective R&B albums of the year. I'm really proud of Kehlani for how she put this album together with her doing all the videos, and with this album she really got into talking about, you know, her self-realization about different things, about, you know, her desires, sex, relationships, her thoughts about her confidence and stuff like that. Yeah, about things she's been through. Some of my favorite tracks, Toxic, Can I, Water, love that track. Hit the Club, such an amazing song, I love that track. Serial Lover, one of my favorite tracks off the album. Fucking Make Up, Grieving with James Blake, and Open Passionate, some of my favorite tracks off this album. Solid project by Kehlani. She really got into her deep introspective bag, and it was a beautiful album that she really executed well. Great project. At number 9, we have It Was Divine by Alina Baraz, a hidden gem of the year in my opinion. This album was an album that really illustrated like the life cycle of relationship, from it forming and being beautiful and it being everything to it kind of unraveling at the end. So she really illustrated that whole life cycle with this album. It was a really dope album for that reason. Some of my favorite tracks, My Whole Life, Morocco with Black, I love that track. Endlessly is a smooth joint. Give Me the Will with Smino, I love that beat on that track, I love that song. Off the Grid with Khalid, More Than Enough. To Me, Memo Blue, and also Be Good Until I Met You with Nas in the beginning. A lot of great, lush, smooth, beautiful R&B tracks on this album. This album was really a gem from head to toe. Solid project that was just a strong effort by Alina Baraz. Great album. At number 8, we have Like Sand by Marie Dahlstrom. Another great, beautiful R&B album by another white woman. Shout out to white women. They've been in the bag this year with R&B. Some of my favorite tracks off this album, No Pair Without Two, Like Sand, Wandering, I love that track. Through Your Eyes, amazing song. I Don't Want to Wake Up, Something to Say, and Summer Evenings, I love that song. Like, this album was just an album that had so many beautiful soundscapes of just lush, vibey R&B that you could just chill to, rock to, with really groovy production, amazing vocals by Marie Dahlstrom, great songwriting, beautiful songs. Just a really good album from head to toe that was just rocking. Great album from Marie Dahlstrom, a gem. I love this album. At number 7, we have Good to Know, Deluxe version by JoJo, one of my favorites. Another white woman that kills R&B this year. But yeah, man, this is an album where JoJo really got into talking about the things she's learned and realized over the years as a woman and as an artist that that's really stuck with her. So I love that. This album was just amazing, really consistent from head to toe. Some of my favorite tracks, Pedialyte, Gold, Lonely Hearts, I love the version with Demi Lovato. Think About You, my favorite tracks of the year. Don't Talk Me Down, insane vocal on that song. Proud, I love the message of that song, it's inspirational. Kiss off the Deluxe version, and also What You Need off the Deluxe version as well. I'm so proud of JoJo. This album was solid, a really good project that I'm so proud she put out into the world during the pandemic, and it was great. Love this album. At number 6, we have Before Love Came to Kill Us by Jessie Reyez, one of the most bold, brash, and creative artists of our generation. I love her. She's an amazing and unique artist that I really hope just has so much success in the future, because she deserves all of it. She's a great artist. She's a career artist, and this album was a great debut album from her. Some of my favorite tracks, Deaf, Who Are You, Intruders, Ankles, Imported, Roof, Dope. I love the beat on Dope, such a gem. Before Love Came to Kill Us, I Do, Figures was a beautiful outro. That track has been on for years. Jessie Reyez is a great artist. I'm so proud of her. This album was an album that just had beautiful songwriting, great production, great concepts, and she really put it together so well. An amazing achievement. Low-key a masterpiece, a great album. At number 5, we have Chilombo by Jhene Aiko, one of the most defining R&B albums of the year. I feel like on this album, Jhene Aiko really gave us a lot of her past vibes on her past albums, but she also gave us some new vibes too as well. Like, you know, more like expressive vibes than she ever gave us before, with a lot of sexual tracks, a lot of more introspective tracks about her family and about her where she's at in her life right now. Really cool album. Some of my favorite tracks, Speak, BS for her, Pussy Fairy on the Way, love that track. Happiness Over Everything with Future Miguel, One Way Street with Ab Soul, I love that joint, love it. Trying to Smoke, 10,000 Hours with Nas, Party For Me, and also off the Deluxe I also love All Good and Summer 2020. A really great album by Jhene Aiko, which was in her bag and really evolving as an artist more than ever. I love this album. At number 4, we have Bigger Love by John Legend, which is to me one of the most underrated and slept on R&B albums of the year. Y'all forgot about it, but this album is amazing. I feel like John Legend pulled from so many different genres and vibes and tempos for this album, but he made it all come together and sound so good on one project, which is not an easy thing to do. So shouts off, you know, hats off to John Legend. Some of my favorite tracks, Ooh La, I love like the old school doo-wop mixed with like the trap on that track. I love that song. Actions, I love that track. I do. One Life, great message. Wild with Gary Clark Jr. You Move I Move with Jhene Aiko. Favorite Place, Conversations in the Dark, Don't Walk Away with Coffee, I'm Ready with DJ Camper, and Never Break. Yeah, this album was just off from head to toe. So many good songs, so many good written songs, so many good vocal songs on this album. Like a really good album that was a gem. I love this project. At number 3, we have B7 by Brandy, one of my faves. I love her so much, and this album was so good. One of my favorite R&B albums of the year, by my fave, man. Shout out to Brandy. Some of my favorite tracks off this album: Unconditional Oceans, Rather Be, Borderline, deserved the Grammy nomination, No Tomorrow, Say Something, I Am More, and Bipolar. Man, Brandy was just in her bag with this album. After 8 years, she finally came back with a solid project. This album was sequenced beautifully, and she really led us into who she is, you know, and who she is more now as a woman and as an artist. And she talked about like mental health stuff on this album, talked about like, you know, romance and just her confidence as a woman now. Like really great album that shows where Brandy's at right now. And she was in her bag vocally, lyrically, melodically on this album. It was just a great project that was produced so well by DJ Camper, sung so well by her, written so well. All around, it's a really great album in her catalog that I love, and only it gets better with time. This album is amazing. At my number 2 spot, we got Ungodly Hour by Chloe and Halle. Probably my favorite duo in music right now. I love this group. Funny enough, their last album was at my number 2 spot in 2018. Funny enough in itself. But this sophomore album by Chloe and Halle is amazing. Ungodly Hour to me was a defining album of the year. I love this project. Chloe and Halle's production, Chloe's production along with the other producers was amazing. The songwriting, the harmonies, the concepts on this album were just all forward pushing for them, and it was just a really good album that I feel like will just be timeless and will sound good forever. Some of my favorite tracks: Forgive Me, Baby Girl Grew on Me, I love Do It, Ungodly Hour, that track is sublime. Lonely's dope. Don't Make It Hard on Me is a cool track. The Rest of Your Life is a banger. Yeah, all around this album was just amazing. A timestamp for 2020 for me. One of my favorite albums of the year, and an album that I'll be rocking to for years to come. Amazing album. And at my number 1 spot, we have Lianne La Havas by Lianne La Havas. When I tell y'all, this is my favorite. This is my seminal R&B album of the year, man. This album I've listened to from head to toe so many times. I love this project so much. Some of my favorite tracks: Bittersweet, great vocal on that track. Read My Mind is such a breezy R&B jam. Green Papaya, Weird Fishes is a great cover by Radiohead. Please Don't Make Me Cry, 7 Times, Sour Flower. This album is just like from head to toe. Lianne La Havas' creative writing, the beautiful vocals, the amazing production. This album is just an album that has such good replay value, and I never get tired of hearing these songs over and over and over again. I love this album. I played it out so many times. This is one of my favorite projects of the year, and when I think about my favorite R&B album of the year, this one comes to mind instantly. I love this album so much. It's a gem. Please go check it out if you haven't already. This album was not really a big album in America. She's a UK artist, but this album was amazing. Go check it out. Amazing. Alright, y'all, so that's my top 20 R&B albums of the year. Now we get into my honorable mentions for the year. So these are albums that didn't make my top 20, but are albums that I thought were pretty good, so I want to mention them for y'all real quick. First up is Sam Sparro's Boombox Eternal. This is a really special album to me. This is an album where Sam Sparrow literally, like, you know, he made a time capsule of the late 80s, early 90s this New Jack Swing. This album literally was a New Jack Swing album in 2020, which is really funny and really creative and really different. But I rocked with it. A really special album this year by Sam Sparrows. Shout out to him. He's a gem of an artist. And I really love what he did with this whole New Jack Swing vibe on this album. He really did it well too. Shout out to Sam Sparrow. Really good project. Next up is Toni Braxton's Spell My Name. This is definitely not Tony's strongest album at all, but it's a really good, it's still a pretty good project, solid project, and it has a lot of gems on it. I love the tracks. I love the title track so much. I love that track. Spell My Name is a great title track. I love Do It, especially the remix with Missy Elliott, and Dance as well as Gotta Move On With Her. Great track as well. But I think the second half of the album is a lot weaker, but it's still a pretty good Toni Braxton album, so I wanted to mention it. Next up is Cleo Soul's Rose in the Dark. A lot of y'all probably don't know this chick, and that's cool. But she's a really dope R&B artist that I got into last year. A really dope album. Rose in the Dark has a lot of good songs in it. It's a really breezy, just late night chill R&B album. Kind of reminds me of like Marie Dahlstrom's album a little bit. So it has that type of vibe on it. Shout out to Cleo Soul, really cool album. Next up is Division with Amusing Her Feelings. I know a lot of people love this album, but to me, this album was okay. It has some gems on it. Namely, what are the gems on this album? To me, this album just, I don't know, it felt like it wasn't that exciting of an album. It wasn't exciting of an album, but at the same time, it did have some gems like Amuse, Dangerous City, the track with Snow Allegra. I love that song so much too. But I think it just had songs that were kind of boring or like filler to me, but it wasn't a bad album, so I wanted to mention it for y'all. A really cool album. I'm looking for Division to level up for that next project, but this album to me was okay. Next up, we got Brent Faiyaz's F the World. I know a lot of people also love this album too, and I don't hate this album at all, but to me, this album didn't really stand out in the culture that much for me this year. It didn't really stand out as much as I think as much as it did for a lot of other people, but it's still a strong ass album that has some gems on it too. Rehab and Winter Paris, whatever. I love that song. Summer in London, that track is cool too. Been Away, one of my favorite tracks of the year. I love that track. Clouded was cool. A lot of cool tracks on the album, but to me, it just didn't make my top 20, but it's a cool album. Next up is Who Cares by Abby Jasmine, the deluxe version. I love Abby Jasmine, a really cool chick that has a great future in my opinion if she keeps going. I love her sound, love her vibe. Some of my favorite tracks off that album, off memory. I love the track Groovy with Guap Down for it. That track with Guap Down 4000, Groovy, I love that song. I love On God, that beat is insane on God. I love on the deluxe version. I like the track like First Day Out with her and Smoke Dizza. I like that track as well. Really cool album. Didn't make my top 20, but really cool album as well. And lastly, for the regular R&B albums I wanted to talk about, Xavier Omar's If You Feel. Really cool album that didn't make my top 20, but was a really cool album as well that I want to mention for y'all. I like the track Surf with Masego. I love that, what's that wedding song he had? I forgot, but it's like a song that's like a wedding song, the album that I really like. But yeah, overall really cool album from head to toe, really solid album. To me, it just didn't stand out that much, but it was a really cool album, so I wanted to mention it for y'all. And lastly, these albums here that I'm going to mention are albums that are really good albums, but they weren't really necessarily like regular straight up R&B albums, so they didn't make my top 20, but I still want to mention them. First up is Childish Gambino's 3:15:20. This album was definitely one of the best albums of the year. It was really like an experimental album. It wasn't really like a straight up R&B album. It was really like, progressive experimental R&B album, but it was a great project that had a lot of vibes of like alternative, like kind of like some like country vibes in there, a little bit of rock vibes in there as well, some jazz vibes, a lot of different stuff going on. But it was a really cool album as well. A lot of people forgot about this one. It kind of came and went, but Childish Gambino put out a great project this year. The Weeknd's After Hours, I definitely had to mention it in this video. I put him in my best pop albums of the year, but he also did have a lot of R&B vibes on the album too, so I wanted to mention him for this video. If you consider After Hours an R&B album, he definitely would have been in my top 20, but I consider After Hours more of a pop album, so I put it in my pop list. But this album, in an R&B sense, is a great project as well. Shout out to Weeknd. After Hours was one of the defining albums of the year, so I definitely had to mention it in R&B. He did his thing on the album. Next up, Ty Dolla $ign, featuring Ty Dolla $ign. A great project that to me really has like more of like a has a lot of hip hop vibes in it, so I don't really call it an R&B album, but it has a lot of R&B vibes on it. Y'all know Ty Dolla, he's like an R&B-ish singer, so I had to mention it here. A really cool album. Some of my favorite tracks off that album, I think Your Turn, Nothing Like Your Exes, I love that track. A lot of cool tracks on the album, but it has a lot of hip-hop vibes to it too, so I couldn't really put it in my top 20 for R&B. And next up is Mariah Carey's The Rarities. I heard this album once, but it was really cool to hear all these songs that Mariah Carey never really put out over the years, but they all sound really good, so I wanted to mention that. More of a straight up R&B album, but it's really more of like a compilation album. It's not really like a new album, so I didn't really feel right putting it into my top 20, but it's a really solid project of old Mariah Carey songs, so I wanted to mention that as well. Shout out to Mariah Carey with The Rarities, cool project. And lastly, I wanted to mention Thundercats, It Is What It Is. This is an album that was really more of like an alternative, like eclectic, experimental album. You know, Thundercats is not really like a straight up R&B artist, but it has a lot of R&B like vibes on it, so I want to mention it as well. He's nominated for Best Progressive R&B Album at the Grammys, so that makes sense. But yeah, Thundercats, It Is What It Is was a really solid project. That's a really special album, really cool album that has his imprint all throughout it. I love the track Dragon Ball Durag. It has a lot of cool songs in there too. Really good listen from head to toe. Really solid project from Thundercats. Shout out to him. I want to mention that as well. And lastly, before I end off the video, I just want to mention some mixtapes and EPs that came out that weren't really albums, but I also love these projects as well. But they were just mixtapes and EPs, so I want to mention them real quick. I'll put the full list of these mixtapes and EPs after this segment, so you can check them out. But the ones I just want to mention real quick in the video: Teyana Major 9's Act 6s and 7s. Love this EP. Teyana Major 9 is a really dope talent from UK that I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does in the future. She's an amazing artist. Let's see, Dinner Party, really cool EP from, you know, Robert Glasper, Kamasi Washington, Ninth Wonder, and Terrace Martin. Great EP by these guys. Amazing EP about, you know, so many different things, but especially like the Black Lives Matter movement and all types of stuff, with all these minds coming together to make this great music. And shout out to Felix on the vocals throughout the whole EP. Great EP, my favorite projects of the year. I also had to mention Victoria Monet's Jaguar. Honestly, if this EP had been a little bit longer, it definitely would have been in my top albums of the year. Victoria Monet's Jaguar was one of my favorite projects of the year, but it's more of an EP, so I'm gonna leave it here. But man, Victoria Monet's Jaguar, from the title track to Moment, Dive, Touch Me, like her EP is insane. One of my favorite projects of the year, hands down. Victoria Monet is a gem. I love you, mama. Thank you. And shout out to you and your pregnancy. Hope the baby comes out healthy. Victoria Monet is such a gem. I love her so much. Next up, Melody Thornton's Lioness Eyes. I also had to mention this album for y'all. This EP. This EP is a gem, with Melody Thornton really getting into like her 60s songstress, like 70s songstress vibes, with these like old school sounding songs that just sound amazing, with her amazing vocals. This really amazing glossy old school production but that still has like a modern flair to it as well. Amazing gem of an EP that a lot of people don't really know about, but amazing projects I want to mention for y'all. Melody Thornton's music is amazing. I'm really hoping the best for her career, because she's an amazing artist that I really think is needed for this day and age, but a lot of people don't really like her type of music. But her EP was amazing. Amazing vocals, lyrics, concepts, amazing project. And also Isla's Other Ways to Vent, one of my favorite artists in history right now. I love this girl so much. Isla is amazing. Another artist that people were just sleeping on, but her music is insane. Shout out to Isla. This EP, Other Ways to Vent, was my favorite projects of the year. From Tattoo Tears, Strings, Cash Rules, oh my god, Frequency, like, oh god, oh god, her EP was just like, oh god, just think about it, like, wow, her EP was so good. Shout out to her producer, man. Her producer is insane. But yeah, shout out to Isla's producer, Cadis. He laced this whole EP with just amazing production. Her vocals and her lyrics and like the way she vibed over these tracks is just insane. I love her sound and her vibe. Like, Isla to me is everything. I love her EP, so I had to mention it for y'all. And also, lastly, I have more, but this is the last one I want to mention. Giveon's Take Time and When It's All Said and Done EPs. Both of these EPs are amazing EPs that I had to mention for y'all. Giveon is one of my favorite up-and-coming artists in the game right now. His voice, his music is just beautiful. His voice is insane. That baritone is just beautiful. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does. His music is great, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. And both of his EPs that came out this year were amazing, so I definitely have to mention it for y'all. I love his tracks Heartbreak Anniversary, Like I Want You, Stuck on You, and Still Your Best off of the When It's All Said and Done EP. I love that track. Yeah, man, Giveon is a special talent. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. But yeah, man, so right now I'm putting up the full list of my mixtapes and EPs that came out this year that I love from R&B artists, so check these out as well. There are more here that I mentioned, but yeah, these are all the EPs and mixtapes that I love that came out this year in R&B, so check these out. Hope you guys enjoy them. Alright, y'all, so those are my top 20 R&B albums of 2020. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down below what were your favorite albums of the year. What were your favorite R&B songs of the year? Let me know who your favorite artists of the year in R&B. Let me know what you think about my list. If you think my list is great, if you think it's whack, if you think it's okay, let me know what you think down below. I really want to know. But I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Hope you guys enjoyed the ranking. Let me know what y'all think about it down below. And yeah, man, like I always say, guys, live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song to make you feel better, okay? Go listen to your favorite song. And please, guys, mask up, wash your hands, and social distance as much as you can, okay? I'm gonna say it again, mask up, wash your hands, and social distance as much as you can. It's important, y'all, please. We're in a panoramic, stop playing. And please get vaccinated whenever you can next year. And please, y'all, it's important to get vaccinated. The government's not trying to play chips in our bodies. It's important for us to do our due diligence and get vaccinated for our own health and safety, okay? Please do that next year. But yeah, man, hope you guys enjoyed the R&B that came out in 2020. Hopefully next year will be just as good of a year, if not better, for R&B, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, in the meantime, hope you guys enjoyed this list. Let me know what you think about it down below. And if y'all are ready, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay? Appreciate y'all. Alright, y'all, I'm about to get off this camera, but thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. This has been your boy Bright, the R&B Kid. Thank you for watching. But for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all. Peace.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit, you don't gotta worry, you can just